are there a lot of players who have desires to be coaches?
Heisman Trophy winner and didn't even get drafted.
Ken Griffey Jr. leaps. Does he have it? Yes, he does. An incredible catch.
Brian, go ahead.
Brian, great show, as always.
Oh, boy! You have to be kidding me with that one. What did I tell you?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Sports Talk. I'm Glenn Harris. Thanks for joining us for another evening. It is a Friday, and I always try to tell you, on Friday, just be cool, take it easy. You know it's a holiday coming up, and you know what the deal is, so take care of yourself. The hottest programming on cable and pay-per-view these days is professional wrestling, and like baseball, football, basketball. These were African Americans who were the pioneers who helped propel the sport to the pinnacle of the popularity that it enjoys now. And our guest has chronicled the history of the black stars of pro wrestling. Julian Shabazz is with us. Julian, welcome aboard. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam. Greetings, man. I'm ecstatic to be here.
Yeah, well, it's good because it's a long trip from Carolina. I'm telling you, South Carolina, not North Carolina.
Everyone in the Carolinas has relatives in D.C. You know that.
You got that right. There's a whole migration period from down here.
That's right.
Aunts, uncles, and everybody. But I see you put together a nice book here. And the great thing about this book, Julian, is that a lot of people don't have a clue that it was this many African-American wrestlers around in these there's the book right there, and in these square circles, man. There's a lot of them out there.
Interestingly enough, I traced an African-American wrestler back to the late 1800s. You know, his name was Vero Small. He was from South Carolina, my home state. He wrestled under the name Black Sam. He went up to New York. Some guy wasn't there, didn't show up, and he was able to fill in. Became the first black wrestler that I was able to trace, actually in the ring, wrestling professionally. Wrestled against a white guy.
Yeah. How many wrestlers did you actually talk to before you did this book?
Very few, and I wanted it to be that way, and I'll tell you why. Because I figured that if I came at it from an outsider's perspective, and if I didn't have any politics with any of the major organizations, I would owe no one nothing, and no one would owe me anything. I could be unbiased about it, because dealing with this subject matter, I definitely needed to be unbiased about it.
How's the book doing now?
The book is doing fantastic. The book has been, I'm telling you, man, the response has been tremendous. And the response has been mostly, I didn't know there were this many black wrestlers. Wow, I had forgotten about this guy, you know. But the response has been fantastic, man. This is why I'm here in D.C., man. We're selling everywhere.
Right. Have you talked to any of the wrestlers that are on the scene now, the big names, the Hulk Hogans, these kind of people? Well, Harlem Heat has been here, as a matter of fact. But do they even know?
Yes. All of the major federations know about the publication, and many things have happened that have indicated such. But yeah, I have tried to.
Do they know the history of the black wrestler in the professional wrestling scene?
I don't think that's of any interest to the promotions. Their thing is to make money right now on the scene. They don't care. Now,
even today, you're not getting as many black wrestlers out there with all this entertainment going on. There are a few, but now, man, I tell you, this stuff is spectacular, and everybody knows, quote unquote, what the deal is. It's entertainment. It's fun. You see great athletes in the ring, people that have, I mean, the bodies on these guys, and you know, you can say steroids, you can say whatever you want to say. They put it together, and these guys are in tip-top shape. Now, we've had Diesel on here a couple years ago. Shawn Michaels has been here. There's Harlem Heat. You tell me this guy's in the tip-top shape of his life right here. These guys look good, man, and this is their living. This is what they do.
Oh, yes. The interesting thing about this guy, Booker T, he never played organized sports in high school. He was actually the drum major.
Is that right?
Believe it or not.
Where's
a fantastic individual. I'm thinking he's from the South. Now, they call themselves Harlem Heat, but he's from the South. But yeah, he's about 6'3", 260 pounds, all muscle. An excellent athlete, as many of the athletes are. And in all fairness, he should probably be a world champion right now.
Okay, now, world champion means marketability. How do you get a world champion? You know, let's not fake the funk. I mean, it's too many things going around. How does this guy become a world champion?
Politics. No doubt about it. Because he has the fan support. If fan support was the bottom line in terms of becoming a star. He wouldn't necessarily have to be the first or second or third black professional wrestler to become a world champion. There would have been many world champions from the late 1800s on to now.
Right.
Bobo Brazil was huge in the 60s and 70s. The Junkyard Dog was absolutely huge in the 80s, even during the time with Hulk Hogan.
Right.
And you had that type of marketability. It's politics.
Yeah, but then that's the name of the game in this business. Now, even if you're a person that's not a marketable person, you can still make money.
No question about it. If you can perform in that ring, and if you can get a reaction from the crowd, be it positive or negative, if you're able to do that, you can get over.
But it is really now, people talk about role models, this, that, and the other. Man, you got, it's a multi-billion-dollar business. I mean, you got dolls, you have cartoon shows, action figures. I mean, this thing is gone through the roof. We're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back. All right, hey, Sports Talk's going to continue. Hey, Julian Shabazz is ending the weekend for us. Hey, he wrote a book called Black Stars of Pro Wrestling, 703-912-1430. Right now, the first three callers to solve the night Sports Talk number is going to win a gift certificate from Maggiano's Restaurant. Maggiano's in Chevy Chase now offers the ultimate Sunday brunch. Check it out, or stop by Maggiano's in Tyson's 2 Galleria. We'll be back right after this. Rock is one of the most popular athletes on the pro wrestling circuit, and I mean athlete because this guy has to be one of the tip-top athletes in the country. Tip-top shape, he can withstand the punishment, and the unbelievable stunts that this guy does. And one thing about it, he's a very, very intellectual person. I mean, that's you know, that's his ring persona. But outside of that ring, this guy is a gentle soul. He's one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet. Julian Shabazz is with us. He's written a book called Black Stars of Pro Wrestling. Julian, excuse me for a minute. I met an old classmate of mine today, and Marsha Vallejos Hudson. I wanted to say hey to you, girl. Class of 65, Anacostia High School. Way to go, girl. She's been living out in this area for about 20 years, but she's really from Southeast. Okay, Marsha. And she works at a hair salon and does a good job right here in Springfield. So I just want you to go around and visit her every now and then. Positive Image, that's where she does hair. Been doing it for a long time. Hey, Marsha, good talking to you today. Julian, this is, anybody who watches me knows I like to do stuff like that anyway, you know. If people know I'm still thinking about them. This is dear to my heart, first of all, because being an African-American and knowing that all of the things that have kept so many good athletes down, from baseball, football, to all the major sports, a lot of people were missing out on a whole lot of cash because of a lot of ignorant perceptions.
No question about it, man. Wrestling itself is really just a microcosm of the larger society. And unlike other major professional sports today, wrestling still promotes stereotypes to, you know, to market their product.
Right.
You know, the NBA, the NFL, they really don't push, you know, race very much in people's faces,
Right.
you know. But wrestling still uses stereotypes, the Italians, the angry Russians,
Right.
the crazy German, the retarded Latino, and
Right.
the ignorant, foot-shuffling, stereotypical black person, even today.
Right, right. And then I think with the marketing of the kind of craziness that you see in all of this, the wrestlers know what the deal is. It's all a game, it's all fun, and it's marketable, and there's a lot of money being made. I think the greatest thing about these wrestlers today is, versus yesterday, is that these guys are in the best kind of physical condition. So their whole time making money, they're in those gyms making a lot of money, man, and you know, making a lot of money with what they do, and plus on the side with the Hulk Hogan. I mean, Hulk Hogan is no young man. This guy, you know, Ric Flair, these guys are in their 40s and 50s.
Right.
So, I mean, they're still in pretty good shape. So I see a lot, and then you take guys like Ron Simmons and Ernie Ladd and The Rock, the new guys, the old guys. They spent their life doing this, keeping themselves in good shape. Hey, Gregory, thanks for waiting. You're on the air, buddy.
Hey, Glenn, how you doing?
Okay, man.
Hey, I'd like to ask your guest. I got a question concerning The Rock. Now, I was always under the impression that he was a half-breed, being as though his grandfather was Native American, Peter Maivia, and his father, Rocky Johnson, because he never came out in public. He said that he was African American. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at him.
No, it's not his fault anyway, Greg.
Yeah, because I was always told he was a half-breed like Tiger Woods.
Yeah, well, what does half-breed mean?
like part Native American, part African American.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, you've been talking to one for about 30 years now. How old are you, Greg?
For 29.
Okay, well, you've been talking to one right here. If you've been listening to me or hearing me over the years, I'm a breed, too.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a huge wrestling fan. Like I said, I've been watching for over 15 years.
Did that jump over your head, Greg?
Huh?
Did that jump your head?
Oh, I mean,
What I'm saying, I mean, it's just the whole reference of half-breed. It's just, that sounds so, you know, it just sounds like,
he's the third.
it sounds like something on television from the 50s.
Huh?
It sounds like 50s television when you said that. You mean a guy of mixed heritage?
Right.
Okay.
Because he's a third-generation superstar. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, we want to make you. We don't want to. We don't want to make it look like because a person has other different bloodlines in their blood that they're some kind of tainted or anything.
Oh no! Like I said, I'm not trying to play a hate on the man.
Okay, that's cool.
That was just my impression I had of him.
Okay. Well,
Greg speaks to an issue that's
Thanks,
really
Greg.
pertinent in our larger
just
society.
gotta test them every now and then.
Yeah,
You gotta
I
test
understand.
folks. I
I'm
gotta
with you there.
Make sure people are thinking.
I'm with you because, you know, a term like half-breed, you know, I'm with
Right.
you on that.
Yeah.
But what Greg alludes to is the real bottom line issue that
Right.
affected so many of the black athletes in the past.
Sure.
And still you know, right now, today.
Mm-hmm.
I call that the O.J. Simpson syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
It could also be called the Will Smith syndrome, depending upon your generation.
Mm-hmm.
And by that I mean,
You crossed over.
2 years ago, he was with a group that was an imitation somewhat of the Nation of Islam called the Nation of Domination.
Okay.
A big group of black guys who were, you know, presented as bad guys,
Right.
holding up black power fists by any means necessary. No one asked what his race was then. The moment his popularity skyrocketed, and he was accepted into the pantheon of Luthez, of Hulk Hogan, of the gods of wrestling. Like Tiger, now we question his nationality. He's given a pass, if you will,
In
to
other
join
words-
another nationality.
In other words, the word transcend, or he has transcended, that means something now.
Right.
That's some kind of hidden esoteric meaning about,
Right.
you know, when you transcend, that means you're neither black nor you're white.
Exactly. And no one asked that question several years before when he was wrestling on TV with his black father.
All right, Julian, is that bad or good?
It depends.
Okay.
I personally don't like it. Monetarily, it's great for him.
Yeah.
Monetarily. But he has never had any problem with his nationality. He talks about it in his book. Look at us, man. I mean, look at the rainbow of colors we have. Practically every black person in America is of mixed nationality.
Right.
You know?
Well,
There's a guy out there right now called D'Lo Brown in the ring who's actually lighter than Rocky. But he's clearly a black guy.
right. Well, you're looking at one. I mean,
Exactly.
what can I say? You know, hey, we understand it when you come from the neighborhoods that I came from and Julian
But
came
I'm
from.
glad Greg called, though.
Take that.
Yeah.
No, great, good call. Just
Yeah.
got to make everybody start thinking. Take a quick break, come back with Julian Shabazz. Hey, 703-912-1430. Here's what's coming up on the Sports Talk schedule. Be right back. Now, if you live near an arena or a gym, chances are there's a pro wrestling circuit that's going to be heading your way. Welcome back to Sports Talk. Our guest is author Julian Shabazz. He's written a book about the black wrestlers in the pro wrestling circuit that we have never heard of because they have not been marketed, but they were out there and doing their thing for many, many years. Reggie, you're on the line. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, my great-grandmother was an Indian.
Okay.
My grandfather was great-grandfather was a black man.
Uh-huh.
And I'm, like you, I'm what they would call a red boy.
Red Bone?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know.
And when we was coming up back in the 70s, the black brothers gave us hell.
Well, you know, I don't know how old you are, but
I'm 51 years old.
okay, well, you with me, I'm 53, so we go back to the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
So I got called a number of names, but you know, in our culture, and even in the wrestling culture or whatever, when you get called those names, those are terms of endearment. They're not threatening terms, really.
Yeah,
At least I never had that problem.
This is 2000 now.
Well,
and a lot of things have changed this day and time.
Yeah, but
and I'm surprised the guy 29 years old would come out like that.
Well, yeah, only thing about it, though, Reggie, we have to understand, I just tried, and I wasn't uptight with him at all, with
Yeah.
Greg. I just wanted to make him think that what he was saying sounded like it was something back in the 50s somewhere.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I was saying that all of us come from sort of mixed heritage. I hope we're not getting off the wrestling tip too much here, but really in our in our group of people, in our philosophies and ideologies in the neighborhood, quote unquote, we have our own patois, if you will. And it's very interesting the way we use our patois. You're from South Carolina. As you move